Hello friends, I hope you've been enjoying those rabbit videos. We're really enjoying having that great little group of buns downstairs. So today I'm going to talk to you about a little bit more practical stuff again. So you may not know this. You can probably tell I'm not super happy with my looks and my weight right now. And so I want to share a little bit with you about that. So when I was young, very little, I was actually very, very chubby. And then I suddenly lost a lot of weight and I was skinny and I had huge bags under my eyes. And they just told my parents it was allergies and I would grow out of it. Here's the thing, folks. We found out a couple years ago that that's not what was going on. I mean, my dad called me Annie, not short for Deanna or cute for Deanna, but for anorexia. Because most of my life I was very stick skinny, right? And I got made fun of a lot for that. It was skinny mini, Annie for anorexia. They just always made fun of me. And then they made fun of me for being a picky eater. The thing is, I ate plenty. That totally wasn't the problem. It turned out I have Crohn's disease, or at least a digestive disorder. And a lot of my cousins, it turns out, do have this. They're on the other side of the family, my mom's side of the family. And I don't think any of us knew until we were adults and having such severe problems. So what it is our body doesn't digest things right, and our intestinal tract gets irritated, and there's actually scarring things, nasty things going on, right? And so when I try to lose weight and I go ahead and eat salads and nuts and whatnot, that's like the worst thing you can do. So I finally figured out using an app on my phone. There was a food diary app. What was I using? Oh, Kara, a food diary app. And I had to basically log what goes in when and what comes out when. And that helped me see what foods are good and bad for me. And one of the huge triggers that I never would have suspected, of course, were the greens and the nuts, right? Both bad. And then apples. Every form of apple sets my little tummy aflame and sends me into pain. Now, I wasn't making the connection because sometimes it's just an ingredient. Apple juice is in so many things you wouldn't even believe it. So I did not notice the sneaky little apple getting in there. And so I found my safe foods. But when I found my safe foods, I lost a couple pounds. And I was a little happy thinking it was going to continue. Well, it didn't. And here's why. My safe foods are like yogurt, avocados, nut butters, and eggs. So my safe foods, and then the processed safe foods are like Kind bars. I use Bob Bread's Mill protein shakes. They are also very nutrient dense foods. And so maybe I thought maybe some of the foods I'm eating, maybe I'm not eating them in the right way. And so I've been looking for a while at the Noom app, and I'm like, maybe that will be the thing. And so the Noom app is supposed to get into your psychology a little bit, give you some new tools. Nope, he doesn't want to sit with us. Give you some new tools. And so their thing is about being looking at the caloric density of foods. And so like the Kind bars, like the meal replacement systems, they're very nutrient dense and they don't fill you up. And so you tend to go and want to snack more. And so that's just I'm on day 2. I am sure there's a lot more to this app, but it's setting up like, what are your triggers? What are the warning signs that you're falling off the wagon? And it's going to set up a support system for me as well. So I'm kind of excited. I'll get a support group and I'll get a variety of coaches that will help me navigate my complicated issues. And so I'm only at day 2. So I'm curious, friends, do you use apps for weight or diet, and do they help you or not? Some other things you might have noticed, you can see in the reflection of my glasses, I got a ring light. I think I can kind of show it to you. It's literally a ring of light. And it can go up and down. It's allowing me to film in the living room, so I can turn it down a little bit. See how grainy it gets when I turn it down? So I turn it up and the filming gets a little better. And then I have my choice in the middle of tones. So you'll have to let me know if I'm getting it right. See, it's so different, right? So I'm trying to pick the best tone. And I apologize. I'm getting used to it. Oops, I went through it again. I can't remember if this was a better one or not. And so I'll get used to it and figure it out. thank you for bearing with me as I go through this, because it's going to let me film inside this winter. So I'm super excited about that. So I just kind of wanted to check in and find out from you guys, do you use apps? Do you use programs? What do you use? And it could be for weight loss and diet. It really could be for anything. What tools have you found most useful? And let's try and focus on apps for right now. And so I found those apps most helpful. I think I've talked before. iBreviary is another great one. It has liturgy hours and all kinds of prayers of the church on it. Also gives me whatever, there, maybe you can see the saint for the day will appear if there's a saint for the day, and you can tap on it and get a little bit of history of the saint for the day. So that's pretty nice. Fitbit, I'm a huge Fitbit user. I have lost my Fitbit. It's not on my arm. I'm going to have to go search for that. Because I always have my Fitbit on. I like doing the group challenges, I admit it. Group challenges are what works for me, and that's why these apps really work for me, is I like a little bit of a challenge with accountability. The other app I'm really big on is Duolingo, the little green owl. You can see his big eyes right here. So I've been trying to learn Spanish. Some of my great nieces and nephews have that history of and speak a little bit, tiny bit of Spanish. And so I don't see them that often, but I thought it would be kind of fun to learn Spanish, to be able to talk to them. Of course, I use my YouTube app. Divine Mercy, I am using the Divine Mercy app all the time, because even besides helping you pray the devotion, you can pull up the Divine Mercy image at any point in time. I just love having that. They have a Marian app as well. Let's see, what other apps do I really, really use? Of course, I use Facebook, right? I admit I use the Kohl's app. I like being able to scan something in the store and see what the price is. And other than that, I really just use the camera and maybe the music apps. I am a big music person, so I have a couple different music services on here. One that's kind of funny is called Breviary Tunes. And there's a guy, I think he did this for his dad. So as long as it's not a copyrighted tune, you can find it. It's kind of funny. So you click on one, you pick what voice type you'd like. So for randomly, I've picked baritone and grand piano as my instrument. The words are here. I can pick the speed. I can pick the number of verses, and so if I don't quite remember the tune or know it, it will help me pick it. Because I don't know all of them. So you can pick. Now I'll pick like a soprano and pipe organ. Let's see what this sounds like. Obviously, I picked a different song. Being Franciscan, I had to pick All Creatures of Our God and King. So that's nice to be able to sing along to. And that one is Breviary Tunes. So what are your favorite apps? You can be using them for worship. You could be using them just to keep yourself busy, help you out in stores and discounts. What are your favorite ones? Put them down in the comments below. Please share. And that's probably it for today. Super quick and easy. So friends, we're just going to... Thought the dog had something he wanted to say. You should see his goofy face right now. He's a little weirded out. We have fence repairman here today fixing his fence. So he's a little anxious to see what his new fence will look like. Okay, friends. So, in nomine Patri, et Filii, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, O Lord, but deliver us from evil. Amen. God bless, friends. Have a blessed day.